Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Don't mind the background, that's just like an old MCOC and chill video for you to have something to look at while I talk real quick. And what I want to talk about is that Kabam sent out a survey today, and not everybody gets it. You kind of have to be selected. I don't know how they choose their selection, but I'm sure there's a process. My point is the survey itself is something that I know a lot of people will do, but I also know a lot of people just blow it off, right? They see the survey, they say 20 minutes, it's way too long, and they blow it off. The thing is, the survey is a good opportunity to, one, kind of get an understanding of what Kabam is looking for, the information and feedback they're fishing out for, and potentially changes to the contest. And this survey really had a lot of neat things to it. It had like the potential for like more customizable banners, alliance avatars, profile updates, different things we could see in our profile, etc. And like them asking us like our opinions on that, our experience on things in the game, and it really gave me a bigger understanding of what Kabam looks for either in Marvel Contest of Champions as well as their other games as well, like Marvel Realm of Champions, which is on the horizons and stuff. Because remember, this survey information doesn't necessarily only have to be for Marvel Contest of Champions. It will be primarily focused on that, but they can take the raw data and apply it elsewhere, and that's going to be relevant in a lot of situations. And for me, I think it's really, really, really important to stress that if you have the time and you are selected for that survey, participate. Because the thing about surveys is that they're really, really reliant on people responding, and people responding en masse. People wanting to have that strong interest in the game to the point where they actually want to have an input, even if it takes 20 minutes. And I spent that 20 minutes doing it, and it was really worth it. I mean, Kabam has like maybe a potential for a communication overhaul in game. I got to put in my input of like things I don't really care about. Like I don't need to see an alternative for Line or an alternative for Discord, etc. And Kabam even straight up, they were like, do you use Line? Do you use WhatsApp? Do you use Facebook or Discord, as an alternative third-party communication to handle Marvel Contest of Champions communication? And they were like, do you feel like it's necessary to have these communication channels available to you in game? And I was able to say like yes and no and answer those questions, because there are like some things I'd really, really like to see Kabam invest time in, like a ping system, which is something they mentioned, where like would be able to ping a noted fight in like Alliance Quest or Alliance War, and you would even be able to tag people so they get a ping, they get an activity ping, or like a chat overlay. So instead of having like the chat be its own menu, it would be an overlay, kind of the same way like Facebook Messenger works. And those are things I think would be really, really cool and really, really positive for the game, because then we wouldn't have to worry about like swiping up on a notification or anything. It could just be like a little chat bubble in the corner of your screen that pops up, and it would be less intrusive than like a full notification. People don't have to do this whole going into airplane mode to play the game or do not disturb and all that jazz, and I think that would be really, really cool. We also saw like some things like asking like your experience with other games or instant reactions things, because I think Kabam recently, like on their champion, they talked about animation canceling, and there's going to be a lot of people who like have no idea what animation canceling is. Like quick rundown, animation canceling is essentially when you trigger an animation and you cut it off early so the animation doesn't go through completely, and an ability still processes from that ability, but the animation is just cut off. That's animation canceling. It's kind of abusing frames, and Kabam literally put a champion in the game that is reliant on animation canceling to get like the full value out of that, and that's really cool. It shows that they're aware of game mechanics and like kind of advanced level plays for the common player at least. So yeah, that's my bit. If you get the survey, do it. I wish so bad that I could be part of the 60-minute like Zoom interview. And I even hit yes, but then the like time windows that they have selected, it's like 11:30 a.m. and like 1:30 p.m. and I'm like, I gotta work. Like I can't be a part of that. But if you're part of that 60-minute Zoom interview, please, please, please send me some information. Give me an idea of what they're asking and looking into. I would love to be a part of that. I think it's so, so, so cool to get to talk to like developers or anyone Kabam related like directly and get that input in that game. Because remember, like we as a community get to shape the game. We have that influence on Kabam because at the end of the day, they make the product, they make the game to impress us. And if we're not impressed, they actively seek to make those things better. But if you don't speak up, if you don't respond to these surveys, you don't post on the forums, you don't give Kabam the information, the data they need to understand what the player base is looking for, we don't see it in the contest. And that's a really, really big major thing. You know, not everything can be changed just because a YouTuber or a big name person starts a huge wave, a huge influence moment. Sometimes, you know, it's better to have it go under the table, you know, more so on the forum or direct survey responses from Kabam, especially on these like longer chained, higher developed, you know, more resource intensive long-term projects like a chat overhaul or a ping system in game. Like those are big projects and a lot of coding Kabam is going to be taking on if we say as a community that's what we want. And if you let a very small pool of people who care enough to respond, you're going to have a small pool of people kind of deciding, you know, major impacts on a game for a large pool of the player base. But if everybody responds to the survey, Kabam can get a more accurate understanding of what the community wants and therefore allocate their resources more efficiently. And that's really, really important. So I apologize for the cyclic nature of this, but I just really wanted to stress, you know, do the survey. It's really, really cool. It's fun. You get to, you know, think about it as like voicing your opinion and actually being listened to because Kabam is actively saying, hey, we want to listen, you know, so hey, listen. Talk to y'all later. Peace.